Hello, good evening, good day. It is for you, and again to sincerely sorry for the connection failure. That is one of the things we suffer from daily. But basically, I want to talk about today. We have podcasts and want to spend time talking about a few issues. Of course, we have not finished our series breaking down the public announcement of the admin that we have for the Kringle Private Society. And secondly, by the way, before that, we would like to talk about, just make an analysis, answer the question, what am I to do with my coins? What am I to do with my coins? Where is my TBC coin destined for? I would like to answer that with a post which we have from the blog some time ago by the admin himself. Because remember, we had said that one of our policies of engagement is alignment, staying glued to the system, thinking and operating by the system. And basically, that is what we are out to do. So today, we are going to have a very short broadcast. It's not going to be long, and then we are going to analyze these to make sure we tackle these two concepts. Um, Before we continue, let us situate ourselves within the context of this particular broadcast. First of all, by sharing our screen and then bringing to you um, our program for the day. So we begin as usual with the quote of the day. As usual, we begin with the quote of the day, and today is no longer from one of the kings. It is from Nelson Madiba Mandela. Of course, we are all familiar with this guy, Nelson Mandela. And what does he say? I found it very interesting because I was somewhere today and I came across this. I found it so interesting. And this is what he says. He says, winners are dreamers who never give up. Again, winners are dreamers who never give up. Yes. This quote is for me, I find it very interesting and very apt for this broadcast this evening because yesterday, after the broadcast of yesterday, someone who watched it, he got interested, but of course, as people always are, they are always sarcastic. God was saying that all this up to these days, why are you dreamers? He calls us dreamers. So people are just dreaming of something which will never come to pass. That's what he said, rather. So I just said to him, thank you, brother. That's just all I said. they tell us that the force of the truth is so much so that you don't need to waste time and energy trying to and as God would have it, somewhere today, and I came across this quotation of Madiba, Nelson Madiba, in which he says, winners are dreamers who never give up. So, for the benefit of the doubt of the one who sent me the text, I know you lay hands on this video and you watch. Please take notes. It's very important, and I keep repeating that um, insofar as insofar as you refer to us, you know, insofar as you refer to us as dreamers, be rest assured of the fact that um, be rest assured of the fact that these dreamers are basically people who uh, it has been a little problematic. It has been a little problematic this far. on the with respect to the connection, and so I would like to that we spent some time. We spent some time and adjust. I'm sorry that it was a little problematic. The connection was not too good, but we are back on air and we must move on. Like I was saying, that for today, our attention is going to be focused on um, some basic questions. But before that, we have here the quote of the day from Nelson Mandela. Quote of the day: "Winners are dreamers who never give up." And actually, like I said, I decided to have as quote for the day these powerful words of the senior African statesman whose name will never fade in the memory of Africans and the world as a whole, because someone uttered some tantrums the other day after watching the broadcasts in which we are explaining the first part. We're explaining the first part of the public announcement, and he said, "You are all dreamers." Immediately I just said, "Thank you, God bless you." But today, in the course of the day, I was, in the course of my interactions in the day and dealings of the day, I came across this particular phrase from Nelson Madiba Mandela, when he says, "Winners are dreamers who never give up." And so I decided to have it on our show today as the quote of the day, to remind, because I know he's going to get back to this channel, to remind him who sent that if we are dreamers, we are contented with our dreaming. So we are not giving up in our dreaming. Why? Because we want to win. That is to display to you that winners are dreamers who never give up. And basically, that is who we are. Dreamers who never give up. If you call us dreamers, yes, we don't give up. And by the virtue of the fact that we don't give up, we shall win. So if you're out there and you are scared, you shy away from this kind of detractors and their tantrums, then you have missed the point. If you are out there and you are convinced about TBC, please join me in the dreaming process, because as you join me in the dreaming process, making the effort never to give up, we shall win subsequently. So that is what we have for our quote of the day. And then we'll go a little down further to explain. Be reminded again that this is our number 17th live broadcast. Don't forget that this is the Papi Show, the Papi TBC show. In this Papi TBC show, we talk TBC. We bring updates about TBC. We enlighten the community about TBC, and we answer pertinent questions about TBC. Today, while we shall continue briefing the world about the public announcement we have. It is a 7-page document, and in our show we have broken down. No, we have brought to the public out there, to you all, the first 3 pages. We dealt with the first 2, and then we treated the third yesterday, and today we would like to treat the 4th. But before we get to that, we want to answer this question: to whom will you sell your TBC? If you're a TBCian, you have TBC in your wallet, what do you do with it? Many people have been asking, how do we cash out? When do we cash out? I was in conversation with someone who has a bad experience with one of the cryptocurrency companies, and then getting interested in the show, the PTBC show, decided to contact me. And in the course of our interaction, the person said, but how do we cash out? We'll be seeing these huge sums of money in our back office, but how do we get it? You see, I have been struggling to. I gave her a very plausible answer, but um, in the course of my studies, again, all the more, I stumbled on a very beautiful blog from the admin, which he posted on the back office, on the blog a few months ago, and I think it will serve the purpose. That is why I have decided to bring it up here. To whom will you sell your TBC? And finally, we shall talk about the public announcement. We shall analyze it a bit, at least on what we have on page 4. So let's begin straight away with to whom will you sell your TBC? Yes, this is a very important question which needs a very quick and prompt answer, and of course a convincing one. To whom will you sell your TBC? Just come with me as I move to the page so that you see what we have here. Not them. Yes, you get to education, and then I select here. This is it. It was already on point. This is a post which the admin had on the blog in 2016. You can imagine it's as old as 2016. And I decided to choose this post not because not just because it is on the blog, but because it is going to give more value and meaning to the public announcement we shall be analyzing in a few moments from now. Remember, this is a blog post which has been on the blog since April 2016. Imagine this post was made 1 month, exactly 1 month, exactly 1 month after TBC was launched on the 21st of March 2016. 1 month after that, the admin answered this question. And it is the question which is coming almost 3 years into TBC. That is to tell us that the idea, the mission, the idea behind TBC is that which propels it. And once that basis is gotten, we can move on to the skies. The skies becomes our limit. What do we have here? We see it is a long post, by the way. We'll see how it goes. The admin is asking, who is going to buy your TBC coin? That's the question they're asking. So the short answer to the question is anybody can, as long as they become a member of the community. No doubt, the word of mouth, no doubt, that word of mouth will spread that abundance, and prosperity will come to anyone who owns coins. Mathematically, there are 40 opportunities to double money from the initial price of 0.001 euros to the potential ultimate price of 1 billion euros. Now, we're not going to analyze the whole of this. We'll just touch parts and explain, because, like I said, when we go to explain the public announcement, we'll delve a lot into this. Is going to help us very much in the allusions we shall be making. Now, experience has proven that one of the basic pitfalls in the TBC community is the laziness of some members. Yes, is the laziness of some members. From the outset already, I bring us back from the beginning so that we see what the admin had in his mind. What he had in his mind. Because that is exactly what comes out in the public announcement, that the admin had something in mind which he was bringing out. He has brought out by means of various communication to let the world know where TBC is going to. But he later on indicated in the same announcement, we shall be talking about it, that a few of the allusions he makes, the kind of analogies he makes, some of the words used in that past are a little misleading, and they're about to correct it. That's why you see some of those things already on this blog post. For example, he's talking about the euro, he's talking about um, all that. That was before. But the substance of this article still remains. And what is that? Anybody can buy your TBC. And how do you do that? That the word of mouth is going to spread, the abundance and the prosperity will come to anyone who owns the coins. Word of mouth, guys, please, let's take this very seriously. Word of mouth. And this word of mouth is directed. Who are the targets of this word of mouth? Those who have TBC coins. Those who have TBC coins. Spend time, instead of advertising our coins out there, talking about TBC out there to those who are not members, so that they can come on board and we can sell our coins to them. We spend time, energy, resources, all that preaching TBC to adherents of TBC. That is very poor. That is not right. You see TBCians on WhatsApp groups, they are advertising their TBC. They tell people on WhatsApp group, if you have any good that is sold for 100% TBC, I want to buy. That I must tell you, with all due respect to you who are listening and to you who are doing that, is a misconception. It is the height of irrelevance. Yes. Your talk about TBC and the sale of your coins means nothing to me, who am a member of TBC, and who also has as many coins as you do, or maybe sometimes more. So you cannot come to me to sell the coin because I already have. So what do we need to do? We need to target people out there, people who have never spoken to, people who know us, basically our family and friends. We'll talk about the 3 F's of TBC. 3 F's. Is it 3 or 4? Cannot remember. Anyway, we'll analyze that sometime later. But basically, that is the effort we are supposed to make. We are supposed to make the effort to even bring along merchants, to even get new clients out there of the TBC community, because it is only when we do that that we co-opt them to the TBC community. It is only when we do that that they are ready to buy our coins. It's not easy for someone who is already in the community, who already has coins, to even listen to you talk about your intention to sell coins. It does not work that way. So that is why already from the outset, the admin had stated very categorically that it is the word of mouth that is going to spread the abundance, and prosperity is going to come to all those who own TBC coins. And like I said, prosperity is going to come to you if you own TBC coins, provided you use the word of mouth, provided you do not give up, provided you work hard, provided you work hard. For instance, if you have TBC in your wallet worth, let's just say you have one TBC. One TBC is about $8 million. It means that the more you preach to people out there who have never heard about TBC, who do not know about TBC, the more you talk to them, the more they get interested, the more they want to join. And when they join, they pay their back offices. The next thing will be to get Pringles, especially at this point in time when all of us are moving towards the month of November, where there is redemption. Our Pringles are going to be redeemed. At this point in time, what do? At this point in time, we make sure we reach out to all the people who are not in the TBC community. Let them hear about TBC. Let them talk TBC. Let them live TBC. Let them love TBC. Let them be moved by TBC. You can talk to merchants, those who have petty, these sole proprietorship businesses, those who have little businesses. Talk to them about the beauty of cryptocurrency, and even encourage them to come along and to accept the TBC. Because as I talk to you now, whoever, whatever merchant, whichever merchant who exists, once he begins to accept TBC, he's going to double or even triple the number of clients he has. Because there are many people out there. Imagine if the TBC community, let me check, how many are we today? How many are we today in the TBC community? There we are. You see, 302,625 people in the TBC community. The number has increased. You see, so with this number, you see that TBC is growing by the day. It's growing by the day. So if that is the number, and then you work hard to bring in many more, you address this thing to those members who do not belong, what is going to happen? It's going to be a win-win situation. You are going to benefit double. Why? When you succeed to bring any non-member into a TBC community who becomes a member verified, what happens? You have registered success by your hard work. How do you register success? By making sure you have registered success by making sure that the TBC community has grown by one person, and by so doing, the value of the currency has also must have grown. So you see, the admin is saying here from the very beginning, this is when TBC started. You see that if you do this, you are going to be an ultimate millionaire, billionaire even. See, jumping onto this train of doubling money is a great ride within any car on this train. You can see for yourself. He goes on to say that if you're a stakeholder or a miner, the only concern you should have is what does it take to have a thriving TBC community? That's the only concern you have, because even paying the back office is very cheap. Everybody can afford that. So please let us make use of this. Our TBC can be sold. People are already buying because they want to redeem. So make your TBC available. Make your link available. That's exactly why we talked about the use of the business card. Use your business card to advertise. Use your business card to reach out to people, let them see what it is all about, let them get along, and then by so doing, you are making huge strides for yourself and then for the entire TBC community. So we will end there with that, but know that the whole idea is bringing your TBC to burst out there, bringing your TBC to bear on those who do not have the currency, those who do not have the coins, so that they can get on board. The value of those who already have increases, and by so doing, they are encouraged by the assistance they get from around. So that basically is how I answer the question: to whom shall you sell? To whom will you sell your TBC coins? To whom? It is to any willing party, anyone who is willing, who is out there, who is convinced it is for them. It is no longer for us. So please get to work. Please, you get to work, and do not fall prey to the I call it laziness syndrome by hovering already around conquered territories. A soldier goes out to unconquered territories. You go out there to go and defeat, to go and conquer, and then come and boost the already conquered territory. You don't go around with your weapons and interacting, making strides only around the community, the community which has already been conquered, because it is conquered by others. So we are encouraged to go conquer our own communities, our own territories. Now, away from that, our second point is supposed to be a further analysis of the public announcements, a further analysis of the public announcements. Yesterday we ended on page 3. Today we are going to continue straight away from page 4. We'll try to see if we can finish the whole of that page. And if not, then we'll see what to do. But it is worth it. It is worth it. So please be patient with us. Exercise some amount of patience. That is the price we need to pay for belonging to this community, by being patient, by meticulously following these broadcasts of broadcasters and of our leaders and all that. So today we are getting to page 4 of this document. And we'll begin from here, where we talk about the private nature of the society. It is very easy to lose sight. It is very easy to lose sight of that. So we must set our things right before we continue. So as we go ahead now, please stay focused and come along with me as I share with you my screen once again. Stay focused, come along with me as I share with you my screen and automatically delve into this whole thing of the Kringle Cash Private Society announcement. Now, on this page we have here four bullets. So we'll try to be fast, but to make sure that understanding is clear. We are beginning from here. This is the 4th page. As a private society, the Kringle Private Society has full authority to create its own form of governance, law form, court, and private treasury. These will be established to better serve and protect the interests of our members, and will be available to every member for the settlement of disputes and other such basic principles of a balanced society of men, women, and children. It will take time to properly fulfill these requirements, and all members will be kept informed as to the progress thereof. We request the understanding and patience of our members in this process. You see, we had already identified the fact that the admin is doing what we refer to as internal reforms. He's doing what we refer to as internal reforms. And he's saying that every private society in fact, it is autonomous, and to a certain extent, private society within the context of this public framework, we talk about it creating its own form of governance. It must have its own form of governance. Who is the leader? Who are the executive? Who is doing what? Those are the various forms of governance. It must have law form. Exactly. It must also have a court and private treasury. All that, even the county, even all that are supposed to be for the private, Kringle Private Society. That we are saying that even the smallest association in the world, even made up of 2 people, has these things in common. You see, they're talking there about law forms. You see, you're supposed to have an idea about, the society. You're supposed to have law form, also courts, private treasury, and all that. We're saying that they will be established to better serve and protect the interest of our members. These things are going to be established so that the members, their interest is safeguarded and will be available to every member for the settlement of disputes. Exactly. And other such basic principles of a balanced society of men, women, and children. It is taking an oath that it is their responsibility to come from time to time to check on these things. Say, He goes on to say that it will take time to properly fulfill these requirements, and all members will be kept informed as to the progress thereof. We request the understanding and patience exactly, because it's going to take time. We who are contributing the money, we need to be respected and we need to be begged. For example, he's talking here about our purpose and mission includes the education of our members so that they grow into properly informed and intelligent members of the private society and larger society, world society of our respective countries and the world as a whole. This is very thick, it's very tight. Now we need to break it gradually in order to have a smooth ride. And this is what he's saying, that it is time to properly fulfill these requirements. We have done that, saying that our mission and purpose includes the education of our members so that they grow into properly informed and intelligent members. The goal, our objective, our mission, the TBC mission is to educate members and even non-members who will subsequently become members. So it is basically to educate. It is basically to educate members as they grow old, educate members so that even as they grow old, these values will be handed on from generations, from generation to generation. The values need to be handed on. So there is need for posterity. And that's exactly what TBC is doing. They say in months to come, we shall be implementing tools for such education so that our members can be successful with TBC and Pringle and understand how to use it for their benefit. Yeah, exactly. People have TBC, their accounts. Some people, because they are so dormant, again, they do not know what to do with it. They don't know how to go about it. So the admin is saying here that those things which you have, those coins, rather, the Kringles, all those things are supposed to better the society in which we live. So you cannot just leave them there. You say that I don't know how to get it out. These people have held me hostage. No, you must get to the system. You must find out what it is and then get along. You see, that's why he says in the months ahead, he'll be implementing some tools which will going to make education clearer. Then you see successful with members. Our members can be successful with TBC and Pringle and understand how to use it for their benefits. That is the point. How do we use this thing for benefit? Most often, people will get you on board and they will not explain these things for you. But in TBC, we explain right down to the nitty-gritties. And that's what the admin is saying. Remember in one of my broadcasts, I talked about the problem with ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The admin is building a system that is going to fight that, and at the same time going to empower our people. Going to fight that and at the same time empower our people. You see here that within such education, some of the terms and points contained in this announcement and in the future materials will be clarified so that we proceed forward together as well-educated body politic of competent and educated people that are here in association to benefit ourselves, the communities and the nations in which we live and work, and the world as a whole. Yes. We said yesterday, even from the send button question, send button test, there is no room for greed in this community. It's all about getting this knowledge and then share it with others. So we proceed, we go along as one people without leaving anybody behind. Because if you want to go alone, want to be a billionaire, an individual and lonely billionaire is a contradiction in terms. The billions you have will be, first of all, to equip you in the empowerment of young people, you know, orphans, and all that, who are interested in getting along, but they don't have the means, you'll be able to assist. That is that with that point. Then we are saying that the only value that TBC or Kringle carry is that of the mutual benefit confidence of our private members. Mutual benefit confidence. Our private members are bound by this mutual benefit. You remember we made mention of that. We hold the value of every human being on this planet to be of the highest order, pursuant to our privately held beliefs and conscience. All of our members comprise the collective value of our society. As an ecclesia, defined as the body of the congregation, that is the living body of our congregation together. So, guys, that is very straightforward. Mutual benefit, and the people who give value to the currency. It is about the people. It's about the members. It's about those who belong to the company. The more they keep increasing, the more the commodities are easily accessible because of the abundance which Tibetians have. Then I had to say we are a non-denominational and non-hierarchical body of living things. This is the definition of body politic. Thus, we consider our society to be an ecclesiastical body politic, immune from the public, commercial and corporate jurisdictional authorities of constituted national bodies politic. We do not ascribe to any given religion, path, or other denomination of belief, or creed, while at the same time we support all of our members in the pursuit of their own right of self-determination, to uphold individual beliefs and modes of living through private and personal conscience. Guys, don't forget, this is strictly a private society. And so we do not attach to it. That's what the admin is saying. Some other values, which are strictly speaking, not values of TBC, not values of the admin. It's very easy sometimes to, begin to add values. Like I was checking one TBC website today, the TBC website of a particular country. They have a website. What I found very strange there is that on that website, there is an exchange platform. And then I started asking, since when did TBC have an exchange platform? Because if you follow very well the inputs of the admin on the blog, and even some top leaders like Randy Kofi, they kept insisting that the TBC will never have an exchange platform. But you see, those are some of the values we are saying that because of laissez-faire, people keep adding which are not there. And so the admin is saying that they are going to be identified and are going to be made public so that everyone understands what it is all about. We do not ascribe to any religion. Yes, we have read that. The only exclusion to this principle is those who would use our society to promote. You see that? Where are we? Those who use our society to promote. We did not finish this ascription to religion, while at the same time we support all of our members in the pursuit of their own right of self-determination to uphold individual beliefs and modes of living through private and public conscience. The only exclusion to this principle is against those who would use our society to promote violence or harm to others. Exactly. There are always those kind of people who take advantage. So we are saying that this community will never be used by those who take advantage. And even if they are used by those who take advantage, you, TBC member, you are supposed to see far, because they have surely just read the blog and they are giving value to it. But the value which you have from your experience, or experience shared by others, is going to shed more and more light on that. So the only exclusion to this principle, those who would use our society to this. That's what we're saying. This includes an absolute forbiddance of any illicit use of our own private medium of exchange in any manner to take advantage of another or to transgress the domestic laws of the nations in which one lives. We are here to promote peace and prosperity for all human beings and all living things in this world. That is exactly what we are saying. That was that with page 4. Thank you very much for your patience. I said it is so engaging. Sometimes it becomes a little boring, but it is always worth reading and explaining. So I thank you for those who are listening, those who are watching, for being faithful to this channel on YouTube. Upon each notification, may they all who follow these new guidelines be empowered by the TBC, be blessed by God, so that together with all our efforts, we will move the TBC community to yet another, we'll move the TBC community to yet another level of existence, another level of, another level of operation, so to speak. So thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much. I am glad to have been out here again. I've been glad to reach out to you, bringing you these details on TBC. Stay tuned to our channel. We shall be updating you subsequently with other very, very insightful thoughts about the TBC community. Insightful thoughts about the TBC community. We shall bring that and many more to you in the days ahead, so that we continue to journey. Remember, our target is the month of November, which is already next door. November is at the corners. Redemption is getting set. Admin is getting set to liberate, to release those coins. Do not miss the opportunity. Again, do not miss the opportunity. Even if you don't have what to begin with, or you fear, you have at least that which to register and pay for your back office. Do that now. Do that now, because if you do that and you have material, you have created a space in the system, in the community, and you and there is any material you have gotten before, it is going to be of much help, first of all, to the community, and then secondly, to you as an individual. That is that with that, so to speak. And just a quick reminder of the basics. At the end of this broadcasts, we are expected to make sure that we do not leave anyone behind. In fact, in the next few days, we are going to coin a broadcast team, a broadcast theme, which is going to assist us toe the line and respect the rule of alignment even in our broadcasts, to those out there who want to be enriched and who want to join the TBC community, so that we move on. Once again, click the subscribe button. Once again, share with all those who are listening. Once again, be a source of distribution of our coins, because you keeping those coins, you're not helping our economy. Thank you very much once again, and then God bless you for being with us. See you again on our subsequent editions of the Papi Show, Papi TBC.